He didn't just lose the case, he lost the entire narrative he built his life around, and the silence in that room said everything.
Over the next few days.
What does this verdict do to his reputation? Because we've had controversy.
Extraordinary courtroom verdict. Prince Harry has lost his £50 million case.
The £50 million question facing Prince Harry. How much of that giant legal bill is he going to have to pay?
Prince Harry walked into Chatham House carrying something heavy, something invisible but already decided. The cameras were flashing, the Invictus crowd was waiting, and yet there was a flicker, just a flicker, that something wasn't right. Because before Prince Harry even stood up, before the applause, before the speeches, someone leaned in and shattered everything. You lost. Not partially, not technically, completely. 50 million gone, 97 claims, 0 victories. And suddenly, Prince Harry wasn't the man about to expose the system, he was the man the system had just exposed. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because this wasn't just a legal battle for Prince Harry. This was revenge. This was history. This was Diana. Prince Harry has spent years tying the Daily Mail to Princess Diana's pain, repeating it, reinforcing it, building it into something bigger than evidence of belief, a certainty. And when Prince Harry walked into court, he didn't just bring lawyers, he brought that belief with him like a weapon. But what happens when a belief collides with proof? What happens when the story you've told the world starts unraveling under oath?
Lost his reputation. This man lied in court. He committed...
Because Prince Harry wasn't alone. Elton John, Elizabeth Hurley, David Furnish, Sadie Frost, Simon Hughes, Baroness Doreen Lawrence. These weren't random names. These were powerful, respected figures who trusted Prince Harry, who followed Prince Harry into this courtroom because they believed him. Because Prince Harry's legal team told them this was a winning case, that the Daily Mail would fold, that victory was inevitable. But instead of a triumphant ending, what unfolded was a slow, methodical collapse that no one was prepared for. 45 hearing days, 11 weeks, millions upon millions spent, and behind the scenes, a whisper, a quiet realization that Prince Harry may have known that before he even stepped onto British soil, the outcome was already slipping through his fingers. That hollow look the one cameras kept catching, that wasn't stress, that was anticipation, waiting for impact.
Crying in court about how some of these articles broke up him and his beloved. I mean, what does it say about...
And then came the moment that cracked everything wide open. Prince Harry stood in court and made a bold, absolute claim. His social circle was sealed. No leaks, no betrayal, no loose ends, a perfect narrative. Clean, controlled, unbreakable until it wasn't. Because the Daily Mail's lawyers didn't respond with theory, they responded with receipts. Messages, real ones. Between Prince Harry and Charlotte Griffiths. Friendly, familiar, personal, intimate even, nicknames, phone numbers, movie nights, conversations that didn't just contradict Prince Harry, they dismantled him. And suddenly the question wasn't what the press did to Prince Harry, the question was, what had Prince Harry done himself?
I really do believe, Charlotte, that your evidence in this High Court case against Prince Harry...
Because Charlotte Griffiths didn't expose him. Not for 10 years. Think about that. 10 years of silence while Prince Harry built a narrative about invasion and betrayal. 10 years where she could have spoken, could have leaked, could have destroyed his claims instantly, but didn't. Until Prince Harry dragged her into court. Until Prince Harry forced the truth into the light. And when those messages appeared, something shifted. Not just in the courtroom, but in the judge's perception. Because credibility isn't a small thing in court. It's everything. And once it cracks, everything collapses with it. The judge noticed, twice rebuking Prince Harry directly, not answering questions, arguing instead of explaining. And in that moment, Prince Harry wasn't the confident accuser anymore. He was something else. Defensive, cornered, and every word he said after that, it didn't land the same.
Empire was that he'd been offered a settlement, and once you're offered a settlement, your insurance company will tell you to take it, and if you refuse, then they won't.
436 pages. That's how long it took for the court to dismantle Prince Harry's case, line by line, claim by claim. And what did it conclude? Not one claim proven. Not one. 97 attempts, and not a single one crossed the line from suspicion into evidence. That's the detail that changes everything. Because this wasn't about whether Prince Harry felt wronged. The court acknowledged that, but feelings don't win cases. Proof does. And Prince Harry didn't have it. Every time Prince Harry's team built a theory, the Daily Mail responded with something simpler, something ordinary, a conversation, a contact, a leak that wasn't illegal, just human. And every time, the judge believed them, again and again and again.
Harry
fighting with the Daily Mail publishers as sort of the evasion of privacy. They hacked my phone, right? This was all that sort of...
By the end, Prince Harry walked out of that courtroom stripped of something far more valuable than money. Credibility, the journalists he accused, vindicated, the system he tried to expose, standing stronger than ever. And the people who followed him into that courtroom, now facing consequences they were never supposed to face. Because this didn't just hit Prince Harry. It hit Baroness Doreen Lawrence, Elton John, David Furnish, real people with real stakes. And now, real financial risks. And here's the part that lingers, the part no one wants to say out loud. They trusted Prince Harry. They believed Prince Harry. And now they're paying the price for it. But if you think that was the worst part, it wasn't. Because outside the courtroom, everything else was falling apart at the exact same time.
Prince Harry and 6 other claimants lost their privacy case against Associated Newspapers yesterday, the publisher of the Daily Mail.
Prince Harry's redemption tour collapsing. King Charles offered Buckingham Palace, months in advance, a safe, controlled environment. And Prince Harry said no, then changed his mind. Too late. The door closed, not out of spite, but logistics. And somehow that makes it worse, because it wasn't personal. It was procedural, and Prince Harry still expected it to bend for him. And maybe that's the pattern, the thread running through all of this. Prince Harry still believes the rules don't apply the same way to him, that things can be fixed with a call, adjusted with influence. But King Charles didn't intervene. The system didn't bend, and the result? Prince Harry standing alone again. And now comes the part no one can ignore. The cost hearing, July 29th and 30th. Because in the UK, losing doesn't just mean losing, it means paying. Not just your cost, but theirs too. And the Daily Mail spent nearly as much as Prince Harry did, which means this story isn't over. Not even close. Because the real number, the final cost, the damage to Prince Harry, to Baroness Doreen Lawrence, to Elton John, it hasn't landed yet. And here is where the story stops being just about a courtroom loss and starts becoming something far more dangerous for Prince Harry. Because once the verdict landed, once those 436 pages made it official that Prince Harry failed to prove even a single claim, something else quietly shifted in the background the way Prince Harry is seen. Not by tabloids, not by critics, but by institutions, by courts, by the very systems Prince Harry has been trying to challenge. And that shift, it doesn't reverse easily. This wasn't just a bad week for Prince Harry. This was a reputational fracture. A judge didn't just dismiss the case. The judge questioned Prince Harry's credibility in writing permanently. And for someone like Prince Harry, who has built an entire second act around speaking, influencing, leading conversations, that word credibility was everything. Prince Harry wasn't selling products. Prince Harry was selling trust. And now that trust has been publicly shaken. And while Prince Harry stood in London absorbing that blow, the ripple effects were spreading everywhere else. Because Prince Harry's projects, they're not isolated. They're connected. Invictus, Arcuwell, speaking deals, media partnerships, every single one of them depends on the same foundation, people believing Prince Harry. And when a court challenges that belief, it doesn't stay inside legal documents. It leaks quietly into boardrooms, into sponsorship conversations, into decisions that never get announced publicly. And the timing couldn't have been worse, because this was supposed to be Prince Harry's moment of recovery. Invictus was meant to remind the world of Prince Harry's purpose, his value, his legacy beyond controversy. But instead, Invictus became the backdrop to something else entirely, a legal collapse that overshadowed everything Prince Harry tried to rebuild. And then there's the silence. Meghan Markle absent. Completely no appearances, no visible support during the most public professional defeat of Prince Harry's life. And that absence isn't new. It's a pattern. When things are controlled, when narratives are strong, Meghan Markle is present. When things fracture, when unpredictability enters, Meghan Markle disappears. And people notice patterns like that. They always do. But the most uncomfortable layer of this story, it goes back to King Charles. Because King Charles reportedly advised Prince Harry not to pursue this case, not to take on the Daily Mail in this way. And Prince Harry didn't just ignore that advice. Prince Harry moved forward aggressively, confidently, bringing others with him. Elton John, David Furnish, Elizabeth Hurley, Sadie Frost, Simon Hughes, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, all stepping into a legal war that Prince Harry assured them was winnable. And now, every single one of those names is tied to a loss, a complete one, and potentially a financial one, because the cost hearing isn't theoretical, it's scheduled, and it's coming. And when it arrives, it won't be about narratives or emotions or personal history, it will be about numbers, real numbers, who owes what, how much, and to whom. And that's where this story could take an even darker turn, because Prince Harry may have the resources to absorb it, but Baroness Doreen Lawrence, That's a different reality, and that question whether Prince Harry unintentionally pulled others into something they couldn't afford to lose that question hasn't been answered yet. And maybe the most revealing detail of all sits quietly in the background. Prince Harry wanted to prove that the system was broken, that the press operated unlawfully, that he was right all along. But what this case revealed instead was something more complicated. Information doesn't always come from hacking. Sometimes it comes from conversations, from trust, from access given freely. And that realization doesn't just weaken Prince Harry's case, it reshapes the entire narrative Prince Harry has been telling for years. So now everything hangs on what comes next. July 29th, July 30th, the cost hearing. The moment when this story stops being about what Prince Harry said and becomes about what Prince Harry owes. Because the verdict may be written, the damage may already be visible, but the final consequence, that hasn't landed yet. And when it does, it might redefine Prince Harry's future in a way no headline ever could.